Hi, everybody. I'm Gail Macklin, owner here at New Mother, New Baby, a lactation center located in Northbrook, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Today, I want to talk to you about how to choose your breast pump. This is a question that is on any new mom's mind that is expecting, and I want to talk a little bit about the different types of pump, what would be the best pump to get and why, and a little bit about just getting breastfeeding, when to start pumping, and so on. So I'm a registered nurse and a board certified lactation consultant. And I have been, I work in the hospital. I own this lactation center, and I've been doing this for a very long time. It will be my 30th year of being a lactation consultant in 2026. So I have been around pumps for a long time and been working with moms for a very long time. So I will tell you, there are different types of pumps. There is a hospital grade pump. There are personal pumps. There are hybrid pumps. There are hands-free pumps that are completely portable. And then there's hand pumps. So I'm going to show you a few of each of them. And I would say that if you're a first-time mom expecting and you're not sure which kind of pump that you need, we don't know how much milk you're going to have. So if you've already had a baby, you probably know if you had a really great supply the first time, if you were not making enough milk, or if you made just enough milk. So this will also play into what kind of pump you're going to get. And if it's your second or third baby, you probably have your old pumps too, which you could always just get some new parts and use that pump and then get another pump. So as far as where to get a pump, generally you go to what's called a durable medical equipment location, or you call or go online and you can ask them, you can put in your insurance ID number and group number and look at the menu of pumps they have. And there are a lot. I mean, when I first started as a lactation consultant, there were hardly any pumps. They were all hand pumps, and there was only one size flange. Now we have so many different types of pumps. We have so many different size flanges, which is a good thing to get measured for. So times have definitely changed, but it's also made it in some ways more confusing. So I'm going to start off by showing you, this is the Symphony hospital grade pump. And this is definitely a workhorse pump. We use it a lot for babies when they're in the NICU and we're really trying to establish a milk supply. A lot of moms who are not making enough milk will rent that pump and use it, and it oftentimes really helps to bring in a good supply of milk. Then there are pumps that are they're personal pumps. They are what I would call a workhorse pumps. This is called the Unimom, and what people like about this pump is that the right and left side can work independently. So if you have a side that isn't making enough milk, which actually most people do make more on one side than the other, so that is very common, but some people like being able to do each breast independently and have more power on one side than the other. The pump that we see the most here at our lactation center that people come in with is the Spectra. This is actually called the Spectra S1. It is a double pump, so there's another one of these, the parts that go with it. There's tubing, and just so you know, when you pump, you actually pump and the milk goes from you into here, so the milk actually doesn't ever go through the tubing. So we actually recommend that you don't ever wash the tubing. And if for some reason it gets water in it and like some black mold or something, that you replace the tubing. So there is the S2 breast pump also, which is the Spectra S2, and that pump is just the same as this pump, except this part is pink, and this pump has an internal battery. So if you had to get up while you were pumping, you actually would not be plugged into the wall and you could walk around. So that's the advantage of the S1. Sometimes when you go online to check your insurance with this one, there may be an upgrade. They change them all the time, so you just kind of have to check. Okay, then I'm going to show you, this is another pump that is a personal pump from another very popular pump company, Medela. So this is Medela's personal pump, And there are so many others. There's the Luna Motif, there's the Lancino pump, there's Pumpables. There is just an array. There are so many pumps out there. So you may want to ask some of your friends what they're using and what they like. You can join some Facebook groups and so on. But for as many people as there are, that's how many, people have so many different opinions about their pumps. So sometimes you just have to find what works best for you and make sure that you bring your pump to your first lactation visit after you have your baby so they can show you how to use it. I do have sometimes people come in and they're using their Medela parts from the hospital with their Spectra pump and they're not getting enough milk. And so my recommendation is do not mix different pump parts because they seem to work better when you're using the correct parts, and it can really diminish your milk supply if you're using the wrong parts. Then we definitely have the completely hands-free pumps, like something like this. You see there's no tubing. You just put this inside your bra and, you turn it on and it pumps really just without you having to hold anything or do anything. The ones that are like this, that you're kind of putting on your breast and you kind of think like, okay, I'm gonna have to hold it. Well, there's actually hands-free pumping bras, which are amazing. And so you definitely, if you're pumping with one of those, you want to get a hands-free pumping bra because it's going to make pumping so much easier. These pumps are great, but again, one of the things that we have found is that when people just opt for these only, and they go back to work, a lot of times their milk supply goes down. So it can be really helpful to use this for when you need to be portable. And if you have a really good milk supply, this may be all you need for going back to work. But most people just kind of have an average milk supply. And so you can alternate this with your workhorse pump. You can use this when you're cooking or doing dishes or whatever, holding the baby. So there's so many different advantages. I love the portable pumps. I think they're kind of a must-have, but I do think it's really important if it's your first baby, start off with a workhorse pump. These pumps, this is the Eufy. We really like the Eufy pump. This actually heats up a little, which one of our lactation consultants really loves this pump. She uses this when she comes in at work, and she'll use this and she'll usually get a good amount of milk. And, just so you know, the average amount, if you're pumping in place of a feeding, let's say you went back to work and you were pumping, most people make about 3 to 4 ounces at a pumping. Do some people make 8 ounces of pumping? Yes. Do some people make 1 ounce at a pumping? Yes. It varies throughout the day. It varies. Milk supply tends to go down as the day goes on. But I think with social media being so prevalent now, a lot of people will feel bad when they go online and they see these people pumping this exorbitant amounts. And I can tell you, as somebody who's been around for a long time doing this, that is not the norm. The norm is about 3 to 4 ounces at a feeding. Most people are kind of just enoughers. And honestly, pumping takes time, and pumping takes time to do the dishes, and it takes time away from your baby. So most of the time, even though you get this nice new shiny pump when you have your baby, most people find they don't really love pumping and they prefer to be with their baby. But understandably, some people just don't make enough milk, so pumping becomes a necessity. This is another hands-free pump. This is called the Amani 2. And so again, you see there's no cords or anything. And so there's the Mom Cozy is a very popular hands-free pump, the Willow, the LV. And honestly, it's so variable across the board. I have people who love one and hate the other. Some people have all different ones, and they like this one, but they don't like that one. So some of it is definitely trial and error, and yet the pumps can be expensive if you get like an extra one, not on insurance. So that's what I would say is, do a little bit of digging around. There are also the hybrid pumps. One of the pumps that has been a really big winner around here is the Baby Buddha. A lot of the nurses I work with at the hospital, they love the Baby Buddha. They feel like it's the Baby Buddha is probably about the size of an iPhone. And that is kind of where the motor is, a little thicker than an iPhone. And it actually does have the capability of being hands-free. So it does come with, you can get hands-free attachments that can go into your bra, and the Baby Buddha itself is like on a lanyard, or you can stick it in your pocket or whatever, but it's really pretty easy to use. I do have a lactation consultant here, Emily, that did a video for us. So I will, you can find that on our website too, and check out how to use the Baby Buddha breast pump. But I love that pump because I do feel like it's stronger than some of these hands-free, completely hands-free pump, and yet it's very easy to move around in. Sort of the LV Stride is another hybrid pump, and there are others. And by the time you guys see this, there could be, 20 new pumps on the market. So you got to do a little bit of digging around. We'll try to keep this updated too. And I leave you with this thought, and that is, if you're pregnant and it's your first baby, do a prenatal consult, either in person or online. And it really helps to get you ready for having this baby. And if breastfeeding is something you really want to do, I highly advise that. If this is your second baby or third and you had trouble with the first, or you didn't breastfeed the first for whatever reason, schedule a prenatal consult. I think it will be very helpful to you as well. I know that for us here, we do a lot of visits after the babies are born as well. And many people come from anywhere from 2 to 6 visits. Did you know that lactation is usually covered by insurance? So check with your insurance company. And I always advise, if you can, see a lactation consultant in person during the first week, preferably days 4, 5, or 6 after your baby's born, because it can make a huge difference. And it's really important to get a baseline so you kind of have a feeling of what's going on. And most of our moms, like I said, will come back for a second, third, fourth visit until breastfeeding is established, because there are so many little pitfalls in that first month or two, and it can be very challenging. And lactation consultants are really super helpful and very understanding and are there to support your goals. So I wish you the best of luck, and feel free to contact us if you have any questions. You can go to our website, www.newmothernewbaby.com, or you can give us a call, or you can contact us online. So good luck, and we'll see you soon.